Do not go past the last Torii gate. That was the rule. Everyone in my hometown knew. No one remembered who decided it. No one questioned it. We simply grew up knowing where to stop. Behind my childhood home, there was a mountain. Halfway up the slope stood an old shrine, hidden among cedar trees. It appeared on no maps. There were no signs pointing to it. Still, everyone knew it was there. As children, we were allowed to climb the mountain path, but only as far as the third Torii gate. The adults always said the same thing. Do not go any farther. When we asked why, they would avoid our eyes. Some laughed it off. Others changed the subject. A few simply said, "That place is not meant for people." I crossed the third Torii gate for the first time when I was 17. It was early evening. The sun had already slipped behind the mountain ridge, and the forest was filled with a cold, blue light. The moment I stepped past the gate, the air felt different. Not colder. Not warmer. Heavier. The sounds of the mountain disappeared. No insects, no birds. Even my own footsteps sounded distant, as if they belonged to someone else. The fourth Torii gate appeared sooner than I expected. It was unpainted and dark, its wood cracked with age. A sacred rope hung beneath it, dry and brittle. With paper streamers that swayed despite the still air. I hesitated. Every warning I had heard as a child echoed in my head, but nothing stopped me. Beyond the fourth gate, the path narrowed. The trees leaned inward, blocking out the sky. The deeper I went, the harder it became to tell how much time had passed. My phone had no signal. The screen dimmed, then went completely black. Then I noticed something strange. The stone steps beneath my feet were wet. It had not rained, yet each step glistened faintly, as if freshly washed. As I followed them upward, I realized the moisture was not water.com. It was warm. The shrine appeared suddenly, standing in a small clearing. It was far larger than I remembered from a distance. Its wooden structure darkened almost to black. The entrance stood open. Inside, it was quiet, too quiet. At the center of the shrine sat a mirror. Hold, clothed and facing the doorway. As I approached it, my reflection came into view. It blinked. I had not. Before I could react, the reflection raised its hand, slowly, flowly, deliberately, and pressed its palm against the inside of the glass. That was when I heard footsteps behind me. Not approaching, not leaving, standing still, close enough that I could feel breathing on my neck. A voice whispered, "You passed the last gate." The next thing I remember, I was lying at the foot of the mountain, just beyond the third Torii gate. It was morning. My clothes were dry. My phone worked again. Everything looked normal, except for one thing. In my reflection, so Metims, when I am not looking directly at it, the other me still blinks first. The night shift has rules, and the last one is never written down. I took the job because it paid well and asked few questions. A temporary position. Night security at an old municipal building scheduled for demolition. The man who handed me the keys looked relieved when I accepted. He didn't explain much. He just gave me a thin folder and said, "Read this before midnight." Inside was a single sheet of paper. Type. No letterhead. No signature. Rules for the night shift. Rule 1. Do not enter the east stairwell after midnight. Rule 2. If you hear footsteps on the third floor, stay seated. Rule 3. If someone calls your name, do not answer. I almost laughed. It felt like a prank. Some kind of hazing ritual for new staff. Still, I read the list twice. At the bottom of the page, there was a final line, separated from the rest by a long blank space. If you see someone who looks like you, leave the building immediately. There was no rule number, no explanation. My shift began at 11:30. The building was quiet, but not abandoned. Old fluorescent lights hummed softly above the empty hallways. At midnight, I heard a door open somewhere upstairs. Primera frase. The sound was slow, deliberate, as if whoever opened it wanted to be heard. Then came footsteps. Third floor. I stayed seated, dog. The footsteps stopped directly above me. For several minutes, nothing happened. Then my phone vibrated. No signal bars. No missed call notification. Just a single message. "Why won't you answer me?" I did not reply. The lights flickered once, twice, and then the east stairwell door creaked open. I hadn't moved. I was certain of that. Someone began walking down the stairs, slowly, one step at a time. Halfway down, the footsteps stopped. A voice called out my name. It sounded exactly like me. Same tone, same hesitation, same breath. I remembered the last rule. My reflection appeared in the dark glass of the security office window. Only, it wasn't copying me. It was smiling. Behind me, something leaned closer and whispered, "You're late." Primera. Bra. N. When I reached the exit, the building lights turned off all at once. Outside, the sky was already lightening. Morning. Morning. The building stood silent behind me, as if nothing had happened. Later, I learned something strange. The demolition records listed my shift hours, but my name wasn't on them. Someone else's was. Mine, written in the same handwriting I use, was added underneath. In pensi.